Well, let's take a look at what is happening in the markets, and we start off with the JSE. Not getting such a good handover from the Asian markets, as it seemed that investors were not impressed by the press briefing that was conducted by China's housing ministry. Of course, we did see some heaviness in China's property stocks, but seeming that the JSE has shrugged that off, with the all share gaining more than 0.1%. That largely coming from the Resources 10 complex there that has climbed 3.5%. That's a big jump, of course, an extension of what we saw yesterday as well. But on the other side of the coin, we do see the financial 15, pun intended, declining by almost 0.4%. The industrial 25, there with a slump of 0.6%. Let's take a look at what is happening stateside, and quite a lot that's happening there as well. We did get Nvidia still popping to a fresh record high, of course boosted by the results from TSMC, fellow chipmaker there, that produced earnings that surprised to the upside, earnings and guidance that surprised to the upside. Also good economic data, still robust retail sales there that surprised to the upside for September, and then the jobless claims for the last week, they're coming in lower than expected. We are seeing a sea of green. S&P 500 up by more than 0.25%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq leading those gains, climbing almost 0.5%, and the Dow advancing almost 0.33%. Let's take a look at what is happening in the markets across the Atlantic, and just good news even there on the monetary policy side there. The ECB, the European Central Bank, came out with its third interest rate cut for the year. FTSE 100 there with a gain of more than 0.7%. The CAC 40 advancing almost 1.5%, and a pickup on the DAX of almost 0.75%. Let's take a look at what is happening on the currency scene, and we start off with how the rand is doing against some of the major currencies. More weakness coming through to the rand, now at 17.69 rand against the US dollar, against the pound at 23.02 rand, and against the euro at 19.17 rand. Let's take a look at how the other currency pairs are doing, starting off with the euro dollar at 1.08, pound dollar at 1.3, and the yen really just slightly below 150 against the US dollar.